content of this meeting, please. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, top of the time zone. I'm Alan C. You got Johnnie J in the house. We've also got resident time traveler who is traveling time, going and getting some coffee or doing whatever he needs to get done. Got a fun set of topics for you folks tonight here on Innervision FM. Welcome to the Innervision FM universe. Don't forget Krispy Kreme and Regal Cinemas. We are running a promo. What is it?
Through the August
2nd?
31st.
Or August 31st is one of them. I'm sorry.
On the Regal. And then July 7th for the crispy donuts. And I'm gonna get that out there. This guy, he does some promotions. You know, you toss him $25 and he'll blast it. So I'm gonna do something with him.
That's pretty awesome. So what happens with these is so bottom line is here. It's hard for us to ask for donations. Reminds us of the days when pencils and cups, blind people and panhandling, right? But bottom line is you help us keep the lights on. So we need your help. 50% of these proceeds go to Innervision FM. And what they do is they don't send Alan or Johnny or Hey Joe to Hawaii. What they do is help the blind and otherwise disabled get their content out there, whatever it is, whether they're, recording artists or, songwriters, musicians. We try to help anybody and everybody, film content creators, everybody.
Now, the newest thing I'm going to be doing, I'm just waiting for them to approve it, through Kroger. Do you know Kroger was around back in the 1940s?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I guess they started out as a bakery and then now they expand. But so I signed up for the nonprofit thing, and it's now when I send out the link to the website, people can sign up under Innervision, and whenever they go shopping, we'll get a donation for that. So now you're getting something for yourself, and you're supporting our nonprofit at the same time.
And that is coming up. So stay tuned for some of that stuff. Visit our webpage, www.innervisionrecords.org. Also, become a valued member and get yourself signed up for the newsletter. MSN at, Innervision2 at msn.com. Get you in the door. Wow, we got a meeting tonight dealing with
Alice Valdez, Youth on Records, and the police service team that covers it's a park close to me called Lama Park, and it used to be full of homeless people or people shooting up and all that kind of stuff, and they pretty much cleaned that out, but they moved it down to McDonald's. so you can't go to McDonald's without running into a homeless guy or some drugged out person. And then even McDonald's got like a fence around them, so there's so many places they can go and they can't go. It's crazy. Wow. It's crazy. So anyway, so that meeting is going to be the night after the show, and you text me because we had it's so weird. On Wednesday night, during the people either trying to get out of Denver or going into Denver, the traffic jams crazy.
It's always been crazy, but it's really insane. Speaking of, folks, that leads us a little bit into our topics tonight. We're talking about climate chaos and classic covers, cutting through the noise with Blind Truth. Something about fatigue and the media bait.
Okay. They got this new thing. It's called Black Fatigue. And it's George Floyd happened, and it was just they
Oh
really
yeah.
ramped the liberals and the Democrats really ramped it up, and
Mm.
corporations were giving money to these fake nonprofits, and now like Target has they're still supporting the what is that gay party that thing they parade all that kind of stuff, but they're not doing it as vocal as they were. And
Yeah,
a lot of their corporate sponsorship have either went away or they went like they said, don't advertise that we're doing anything on your website.
that's interesting.
Yes. So it's called black.
Disassociating themselves.
Yeah. So it's called black fatigue, but I call it black and climate change fatigue because it's like every time you turn around, the liberals are talking about climate change. Not so much now because when Greta said that the world was going to end in 2023, uh, and the day came and went, she scrubbed that off of her website. And I said,
Oh, I
for the,
miscalculated.
yeah, crazy man. And it's like, and for the people so I guess there's a lot of people who probably never read the Bible and they don't know, they never seen the scriptures. We don't know the date or time, but there'll be certain signs, but it never said we'll know the exact date, the exact time. But they fooled them in the Y2K thing back in 2000, and I
99,
guess
yep, I remember.
yeah, it's like
Then they said, oh no, it was wrong. It's supposed to be this January or December 31st, 2020 or 2000 instead of 1999.
oh
Just
man,
switching
I
it
don't
up.
I don't know if it's just a blind thing or if it's just a after walking with God for a little while. Some people would call it drinking the Kool-Aid for so long. I don't know, but I really believe that God's the way to go. I really believe that these are the
Hmm.
end, times, and it's best to get saved today. And you know, it's not about religion. It's about relationship. It's about uh, sure opening that word, getting into the word, maybe actually learning a few things from the scripture
Hmm.
that you may not know because you think you know it all because of course the interpretation of the scripture is out there, but man, when you actually get into the book, when you get into the words themselves, when they speak to you, especially when you have that relationship, that open
Hmm.
dialogue with the Lord, it changes things. It makes things doable, bearable. All things are possible with him. Like, for instance, well, you know this as my boss, Johnny. 2 years
Hmm.
ago, 3 years ago, when I started this quote homeless adventure thing that I was doing,
Hmm.
whatever. And I got tossed from my Christian friend's place for smoking some wacky tobacco, but they knew that I was smoking, but they, changed the rules midstream, which, hey, it's their house, it's their stuff. They can do what they want.
All right.
So I had to move. I had to go. That was the beginning. My gosh, Johnny, whatever shall I do? Oh my gosh, Johnny, oh my gosh. Oh, and now I can look at things differently. I can go, oh, I'm out of food. It wasn't because I budgeted poorly, although I did somewhat budget poorly because I did buy into this music stuff. But it's going to pay off. It's one of
Yeah.
these long-term investments where you've got to take a leap of faith. There are times where you cannot wait for things to be perfect. You've got to, all right, Lord, this one is yours. I'm going to make
Hmm.
this investment, but yeah, I'm going to have me some fun with it. Sure, I'm going to make a birthday song for my boss. I'm going to do some sound effects, make a starship sound of this, that, and the other, get it all wrong and fail spectacularly. But I'm going to praise you, Lord. I'm going to do all this stuff. because I want to give you the glory, and I want to make sure that there are opportunities for folks to be able to know how good you are. I mean, how you've never failed, not once, not ever, not even once. I mean, I'm still here. I'm still
Yeah.
here. I'm still living. I'm not homeless anymore. And it's all to, you know, glory to God. I mean, my friends, the people that helped me along the way, sure. But who put that on their heart to do those things? The Lord. And
Yeah.
that's what Innervision FM is all about. We want to put him first because it's in him we have our movement and our being. Sorry, I didn't mean to get on my soapbox, John. Sorry about
No,
that.
but I also put in here like this black fatigue. Okay, so Johnson came in and he put in this welfare stuff, and
Yeah,
you can't have the guy in the house, and I just thought about it today. I said 70% of the men gave up and said, okay, instead of saying, wait a minute, let's start figuring out how we can do this and beat them at their own game. And I'm thinking like, okay, before all this stuff came up with the civil rights and civil all that kind of stuff, there were these black-owned bus stations and cab stations, and
sure, yeah,
stores, and I'm thinking like, then when all this other stuff came in, they started taking that apart. And even like in the schools, they used to teach metal shop, wood shop.
Yeah.
So you learn how to do stuff with your hands.
yeah, trades.
Yeah. Then they took all that stuff away. So they were systematically, they were working at making sure that since they were going to take the companies out, these big corporations were going to leave, that you didn't have a way to generate money with skills that your father may have not taught you or anything like that. And I'm just looking like, man, how they planned it and how these guys just gave us, oh, we'll just sell drugs
Right.
or try to pimp our girlfriends or whatever
That's
they decided to do.
that's exactly why I brought up the idea of the whole tin cup and the pencils and that stereotype that the blind are given. You know, we're supposed to be beggars. We're supposed to be living on the crumbs of, and our society says that very thing. It says 70 to 90% of us are unemployed. We can't even track our own statistics of unemployment. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And further, I've heard that there were 10 million of us in the country. Well, I've since been made to understand there's only 2.8 or maybe 3 million in the country that register. So this is even more unconscionable. This tells me that there's zero reason why 3 million people on the planet can't get some, I wouldn't say help, but I would say help
I
because
got I got to
by
tell you
God,
two parts of this. Okay, how the mindset our people are, and maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. I'm standing at a bus stop. I'm drinking some ice water because it's a hot day. I
right.
finish it up. I'm holding the cup, and somebody comes along
Yeah,
and puts.
put some money in there.
I'm thinking like, what's going
You
on
told
here?
me about that.
Like, gee, it was just
Thanks,
crazy.
boss.
That reminds me of this
Yeah.
time where I had just jacked up my knee. I was doing something with martial arts, so I'm like, oh my knee. And this old couple was walking by me, and Wendell and Ethel or something like this. I think their names were. I guarantee it almost. And Wendell says to Ethel, "What did he say?" And Ethel says, "Oh, he says money." And says, "Hey, we got plenty of that. Here you go, son."
Oh man,
And I
it's
get
crazy.
home and I think there's $1 or something like this, and there's $100 right there. I'm like, wow, $100.
That is wild, man.
Isn't it crazy?
Now, and also, I don't know if I told you that. Okay, so and you went through this out. So Tony had this counselor and she wouldn't budge. So I told
Right.
him switch. So they didn't switch. Now this lady, for some reason, we need to get some funding passed so he can get his thing recorded. Now
See,
she's on medical leave. And I'm thinking
See,
like,
here's the way this runs. Here's the way it works, period. There is one person that is assigned to the blind and low vision unit.
hmm,
If you run afoul of that blind and low vision unit and you are somehow reported as being XYZ, but you're not, right? But this is a woke organization. Not on paper, but realistically. This is partially why there's a 70 to 90% unemployment rate, because they can't have that unemployment rate dropping because their job security is at risk. So, um, you're you're in a rough spot. So we're going to ask for prayers. We're going to
hmm,
ask for help from the community because we are transparent. We do want to offer the best possible services, put all the cookies on the lower shelf, as it were.
crazy.
So, throw this down to vocational rehab itself right
Okay.
now.
And speaking of the
We,
lower show,
yeah,
NPR is in Denver, Colorado. They are suing the Trump administration because they want the government money and they want us all to pay for their propaganda.
yep,
And Trump is saying no. If you
nope,
want to have your propaganda, and I heard this program on the show this weekend. They say, oh, in this rural area where there's the Native Americans, and say, well, this is the only way they can get the news. Well, maybe there's some news that is not worth having,
yeah,
especially if it's just a bunch of propaganda.
yeah,
See, something else I really liked this week was he's going to take the money out of Harvard and
Oh,
a couple of these other ones and put it into vocational schools across the country. It's like, woohoo!
yes, yeah,
it's interesting because the Harvard stuff, man, that just keeps getting more and more crazy. I
yeah,
mean, didn't somebody just get arrested for doing some stuff? I can't keep up with all this news. It's
yeah.
crazy.
So Kennedy, I have a link there. I don't know. I looked at some of that uh this thing that so but he talks about the Harvard uh yeah. So he says Kennedy's entitled to the opinion, but maybe not the Americans' money, you know,
Right.
because they got endowments that are just millions, close to billions of
Well,
dollars.
they're saying that they are almost insolvent.
Now they need to, and I know they get a lot more money from the what is it, the foreign students, because as I understand, like I guess
They don't get money from foreign students. The U.S. tax dollar pays for those foreign students.
they cover that.
Yes,
Jeez. Gosh,
just the
yeah.
foreign students don't pay.
So yeah, that has to stop. I know that the gravy
It ain't
train
gonna
has to
stop
stop.
because they aren't gonna get the money now.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that a bunch of bureaucrats
You can't
saying,
say
"Wow,
all foreign students. The students that they want in from these countries that don't even like the United States, those are the ones that don't pay.
hmm." Now, okay, we got this big beautiful bill. Some guys are saying that they should have broke it up, but Ron DeSantis, that's our next link. He
Right.
says, "Why is it taking Elon Musk to do this when a lot of these guys have been in that position that where they could have did it a long time ago, but because they're not term limit, they just say, oh, if not today, tomorrow, if not tomorrow, next year, if not next year, you know, maybe as the
It's the
pallbearers will
idea.
take me."
It's the idea of job security, bud. It's the same like I brought up with Voc Rehab. When you're dealing with any kind of government, uh, if you can kick it down the road, kick it down the road because you got job security.
Yeah, started this video at 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And then that's when he was answering another question from the reporter, but that's where I want to focus in 3 minutes and 28 seconds into
Yeah.
this. So, well, Must VX. Oh, must be the swamp that's slowing things down. So that's another video with with
You know, the
the
judges
censors.
that are, they don't care what Trump and them are saying. If they bring something up, they do a indictment against them. You know,
Oh,
it don't matter what it is. They stop everything he's doing, or they're trying to. But that's coming to a head. I mean, there's going to be martial law.
yeah, it's
It's
like
interesting because people are actually calling for that. There are
They are, yeah,
on both
definitely.
sides, on both sides.
so. I mean, it really came close to it doing that COVID thing, and that Tim Walz where he was at. There's some video out there when people were standing on the Porsches, and the troops were going through, and they started shooting them with, it wasn't paintballs, those bing bag
The
it,
rubber bullets from being
rubber bullets, and people were saying, what's going on? They said, get back in your house. And I'm thinking like that, you know, that's not even brought up. I mean, I'm sure the people that went through it, they talk about it, but as far as like it getting any national coverage, nah. And I just found out because I had a friend that he digs deep to find videos like that. And that was the guy that was running for vice president, and his wife was a little bit Looney Tune too. Was a lot Looney Tune.
they deployed the National Guard in key cities all over the United States.
They
Why
sure
do you
have.
suppose that is? The Democrats think that they did it. They did.
Hmm. Yeah. And oh,
No,
just go
they've been
ahead.
talking about this for a while. So, in 1935, looks like John Steinbeck came up with a book called Tortilla Flats. John Steinbeck is best known for a book called Of Mice and Men and their works of
Oh, yeah.
literary note. He's a pretty good writer. I dig old John
Oh, yeah.
Steinbeck.
Yes. That's it. That was nice. 1935. 1983. Irene Cara. I used to watch her on Sesame Street. I used to have a crush on Irene Cara because it was like there was an electric company. We were teenagers, and they say,
Hey, you
"Hey,
guys.
yeah, man," and I realized that it's really weird. I think she got blackballed. Something I can't remember the exact story about how she got blackballed. She didn't want to do something or another, and so then
Yeah,
some
she was a rising star, and all of a sudden she went out.
yeah, but she kept going on doing like things like on Broadway and stuff like that. But just as far as like getting major movies and stuff like that, and I
She's
and
not
I read that
streaming.
story a long time ago. Let's see. Okay, look at why was Irene Cara blackballed in the media? Hmm.
Mm.
Oh, she sued her label for royalties, and that's why they blackballed her. And she won.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That's what it was. I knew it was something.
This is right around the time when musicians actually thought they had a say in what they were doing. So that's when all record labels got together, used ASCAP, CSAC, and BMI to really tighten some things down.
Yeah. Now,
Uh,
let me break it down for the people who don't. Okay, so we do get some royalties from the artists, but like I said, it's okay. The cost to put the music up there is like $265, and I'm thinking like switching because I think TuneCore has a better deal. But right now we're paying that much. Now we get about sometimes we get $36. This last royalty check was about I think $97. So out of the royalties, I just get enough royalties to pay off that stuff. All right. But these other record companies, they get way more than that.
that's absolutely right. That's why it's so rough being an indie artist. But on the other hand, the technology is out there to where if you've got the stick to itiveness, you'll get through it. Um,
Yeah.
1998. Phil Hartman tragically killed by his wife in a murder-suicide.
Now I said,
Yes.
did he tell her a bad joke or something?
I don't know, man. That's a bad news.
Yeah.
That'll definitely ruin your day.
Remember, like Rodney Dangerfield, he used to say, my wife, she doesn't give me any respect. And, and this lady took it. But what I understand, I went deeper into the story. Okay, so he's doing all these things, but the family's kind of dysfunctional, where they're both drug users. They're not trying to get off drugs. And sometimes those drugs can take you into dark places, right? And who knows, LSD, all that kind of stuff, those LSD things it can make you see stuff that's not really there. The closest I've ever come to it was the doctor gave me this anti-rejection medicine, and my mother on the front door, they had this thing where you can look outside. I actually seen a SWAT team pointing guns at the house,
Mhm.
and it
That's
was
awesome.
not there.
It was not there.
No, it was not there. I mean, who knows? Nowadays, it could be there because while Biden was in law, he was sending the SWAT teams after the J6 guys and all that kind of stuff. But back then, this was like, what year was it? What year was it? I think was it in the 90s? Yeah,
You know,
I think this was in the 90s.
this is absolutely funny, Johnny. I was just thinking this. Back in the day, we would read horror novels by Dean Koontz or Clive Barker, or just pick your favorite, Stephen King, whatever. We would yearn and long to get thrilled and chilled by ah horrible, heinous things, knowing obviously that it's just a book or it's just a movie. We
Hmm.
can put it down or we can stop it at any time. Well, now we're living it. We're living it. We've got AI, we've got all this stuff going on. Look back at the time just 20 years ago. Man, how things have changed. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, toss a comment down below. Innervision FM needs your support, so definitely do those things. When you do a like or when you do a comment, it feeds the all-powerful evil algorithm monster. And when you subscribe and tell your friends and share this stuff, if you so choose, it helps out other blind and otherwise disabled folks. So help us out.
Yes, and our show's supposed to be like kind of like music focused, but we have so many different interests that I throw a little bit of music stuff in there, a little bit of entertainment stuff in there, and then and I thought, well, should I put Irene Cara as part of the headlines? But I said no, because right now it's sort of like in the algorithms about this uh, those the topics that I put up in the subject line. But if you have any topic ideas, if you have any guests that you would like to be on the show,
Yeah.
email us innervision2@msn.com.
Hey, before we go, do you want me to show you that stuff I've been working on with
Oh
Suno with
yeah,
sound effects?
yeah, why
See
not?
if I can
Sure.
pull this here.
Inbox can be called to Zoom meeting. Zoom meeting.
Uh,
Wednesday show message HTML. To move to press the arrow key. Wednesday show message HTML. To move to Zoom workplace.
no, it's not gonna let me. All right, here we
Join button
go.
available. Zoom meeting. To move to press meeting security with security warnings button.
With security warnings, what? Why has it got that?
Leave Alt key button. Volume control button.
Okay.
Enter. Context menu. Share. Submenu. Enter.
Hello, computer.
Share. All text. Enter. Leaving menus. Share. All text button. Down arrow. Select the window or application that you want to share. Screens tab selected. Press Control or keys to reload. Documents tab. Layouts and options. Screens tab selected. Advanced tab. Documents tab. Screens tab selected.
Oh, look.
Windows D.
Go here.
Search box edit. Type in text. www period u wwn or one column out.com wwn u f period www period s u n o period c o m enter. Full menu.
And what are you looking for there?
Oh, just bringing up Suno here. I should have done this beforehand. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, toss a comment down below, and you know, hit us up at Innervision2 at msn.com for the access to the newsletter. Got a bunch of different projects that we'll have be coming up, and we've got a meeting dealing with a bunch of
Yeah, Youth on
concerts,
Records, Youth
events.
on Records. Oh, and I'm trying to book Tony at this place called Spangaling. He said he can get 50 people to 100 people at the concert. So that's coming up July the 12th at this place called Spangaling. And they have a nice sign up thing for if you can have book one of the rooms for a event. So we shall see what happens with that. And then I'm going to book him at there's a place called Tony P. Right? And Tony says, "Hey, it's named after me," but it's a really fancy type of pizza place, and I think it's, well, I forgot it. They have several locations, so they do a Wednesday night showcase of artists. Or, go on their website and book them there. And tonight he's going to be at this other place on Colfax, but I'm going to be at this other meeting. So it's an open mic. So, he's 24 years old. So he's getting out there and doing what young guys do. I used to have the philosophy of I refuse to go to any bar unless they were paying me. And so that's how I got my first DJ job, because they said, "Oh, we'll pay you." Now, it wasn't exactly what I wanted to get paid, but she says, "But you make all these tips." And some nights I did, and some nights I didn't. But what I liked about her was checks were never late. Even though she didn't pay me what I thought I was worth, she always made sure that she did those books and she got you your check on time. And then when I decided to leave because I asked for a $2 raise, I went down to a place that paid me $15 more than she was paying me. And she was mad because she knew she had the goose with the golden egg.
Wow.
But it's like, so did you connect it? Ah.
Is this sharing?
Oh. Because it didn't.
Zoom is launcher web content profile 2. Zoom is launcher web content profile 2 page. Zoom is launcher group. Zoom is launcher. Zoom is launcher. Link items. To activate, press enter.
Now you didn't ask. I don't think you asked yet because it didn't pop up yet that you asked the share.
Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. I'm gonna have to update to their new thing because it told me that I needed to update, and I just kind of went past.
Oh yeah, the old update rickaroo.
The old update rigmarole. But stay tuned. We got some cool stuff. Promise. Always promises.
This Saturday, the Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, it was so weird. Okay, so they gave out all this. They had you sign up to see how much people were interested in this, and now they're sending out these emails every so once in a while saying, "We have some open dates open for between June the 1st and June the 15th." Well,
wow.
it went out at 11:17, but I didn't see it until 1 o'clock. So I went on the website and I started scrolling down, and they give you like the 1 hour, 2 hour slot, taken, and it's like, oh man, it's like, but because I thought that like a lot of these positions, you sign up in the first one, you showed me you have your W-2 and all that kind of stuff,
That's
and
right.
you were in. But no, now you got to go an extra step, and you got to watch out for their emails. And
like if you don't have a life, that's okay.
Yes. Yeah, I'm up here doing something else. And I looked over there and said, "Oh, she sent an email. 11:17. It's one something." And I'm thinking surely there's going to be something left.
It's
And,
kind of like these folks that purport to be, certain public figures, especially notable public figures, and you're like, okay, I'll pretend along with you, and They lead you down a rabbit hole. Do you have this app? Do you have WhatsApp? Do you have this? Do you have that? Blah, blah, blah. And pretty soon you're just like, man, I ain't got time for this.
Oh, and also at the Civic Center, the
Yeah.
Techno Fest is going to be on this weekend. They already got it already blocked off. Well, today's only Wednesday. They're working quickly. So
Wow, they are.
They got it blocked off. They I guess they're charging so much money to go into this thing. And then
That's-
on the 16th raw, I don't think they're going to charge anything for that this time because it's the big kickoff. And so we'll go down there and check out some of the musicians and I told you like last week they had two people dressed up as cows dancing in front of this ice cream place.
Yes.
So we'll see what else they're gonna have people dressed up as.
Don't forget to take videos so that we can put this on Innervision
Oh,
FM.
yeah,
You
yeah,
folks in the Innervision
will.
FM universe, join us next week and we'll have us some fun.
Oh yeah. All right. God bless you guys.
Bless.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.